So for this, I am using an old 12 by 12 pad to decorate. I say to decorate, to just cover the base pages, to put in a few pockets and tuck spots. And I just thought I have so many old papers that I don't use a whole lot of, that I thought this might be a good way to go. So this is So Retro. It's one of Sara Davies' Crafts Companion, one of her signature collections. It is quite an old pad, but I just thought I'd go for something quite funky for this particular journal. So I have taken out one of each of the sheets in there, and this should be ample for me to cover the pages. I haven't decided on the cover yet, but and also to make some tuck spots. It's probably too much, but I thought if I go for one of each, it gives us a bit of a, a bit of a sort of flexibility. Now, I have already picked out these 8. These ones here, my intention is to use them to make the tuck spots in a bit later. These are the ones that I am intending to use on the pages. So I'm intending to cover all of these parts with these papers, and to do it in kind of like pairs. I've gone for like 2 of the blue, sort of the sort of light blue, 2 reds, 2 of the sort of neutrals, 2 navies, and 2 of the pinks. And I use them in pairs. So that's 1 pair, 2 pairs, 3 pairs, and so on. Now, one of the first things that I need to do for each of these is to cut. I want to cut a piece. I don't want it to be right up to the edges. Now, if you watch the video when I made this particular book is made, it's 5.5 inches that way, and these are 8.25. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my papers just slightly, about like 1/8 of an inch smaller. So it would be what, 5 3/8 by 8 1/8. So I'm gonna cut those in order to stick those in. So that's the first job I'm going to do. So I'm just going to start with one just to show you what I mean. Now I always use my board. I find it easier. I think it's just off screen, but I've got a 0 where the bottom of this corner is. I'll move it up so you can see. I always button them up against sort of the lines, and then I can work out 8 inches. So this is 8, and in fact I am going to have to take down to the bottom, which unfortunately is off of your screen, to be able to do the 1/8 of an inch. So I've marked it at 8.25, and then I'm going to do it this way at bear with me again, I'm sorry, it's off the screen, at 5 3/8. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut each of these pieces. I'm going to cut a section off like this. So I'm going to do it on my guillotine, and I'm going to do it a couple of sheets at a time. I should be able to get through so using the lines that I've just drawn. The idea being then that this One will go here, and the other will go here. Now I do end up with this, and I'm not bothered about that. And in a moment, I will we'll look at cutting these bits. So I'm going to go ahead now and cut the rest of these to size. Okay, so I have my 10 pieces, and as bits of leftovers from that, I have one of each piece here. So my intention, let's say for example, if I was using this here, then I'm going to find it. Where is it? There. I'm going to use that piece on the end. It's slightly different. Let's sort of go in here. So this bit would go here, and this bit here. Okay, I'm not concerned about these flaps over here at the moment. That I'm going to do something different with those, but that's my kind of plan at the moment. Now these are the right height because they're I've cut from the end of that strip from the 12 by 12s, but they're not the right width. Now I used when I made these, this from here to here is the length of A4. This is kind of not a standard size, if you like. So if you look at it, it's 3 and I think it would work out something like 3 7/16, which is quite a tricky one. But that said, I've done everything else, like I cut it an 1/8 smaller, so I would need to go to 3 5/16. So that's kind of what I'm going to aim for. I'm not going to worry if I don't get it too accurate. They should. So we're going to go for 3, and what did I say? 5. Yeah, 2, 4. Let's just check that again. That was 3 and 2, 4, 6, 7/16, and I want 3 and 5. Let's go 3 and 2, 4, 5. So pretty much there. So I'm just going to I can do pairs, but if I do half of these with a mark, then I should get I can do it in twos and cut those. So this, I mean, it's just how I prefer to do it. I don't mind having a little sort of border. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm just gonna take one without and then I'm going to cut them, and I'll do the same for the rest of these pieces. So I have all of those pieces cut now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, and first of all I'm going to choose what I want where, and I think I might go with the blue there, and then the red. And then maybe navy. And then neutral. Oh, and at the back we'll go with the pink. Right. So those two not needed, but we might use them later. So I'm just going to now. I'm going to use paper bindery, Janie's Originals paper bindery quick stick to stick all these pieces of paper in. So I'm just putting glue. I'm not worrying about spreading it out. It's quite going onto a thick base. It's not going to show. The glue lines are not going to show. And it's just then a case of positioning this on. I'm just going to push it down that way so that I can give it a nice bar. And then it's just a case now of continuing to stick all of these pieces on. So all of the these pieces are now stuck in, and I need to decide what I want to do on the cover. So I'm just looking at some of the other papers that I haven't yet used. These are the other ones from the pads I've not yet used. I think those are a bit too funky, I think, for the cover. But I'm kind of drawn. Actually, maybe. I think perhaps that one. Decisions. Or do I go for the dark one? Oh, I don't know. I think I might use that one. Or use this one. So what I need to do here is just the same, because I don't want to impact on the spine part. So I'm just going to cut them the same. So I'm going to cut two pieces at, bear with me, I'm just going to use my grid, which you can't see. So 8 1/4, and then I'm going to do 5, not 8 1/4, 8 1/8, wasn't it? Let me just double check I have done that right. 8 1/8, and then 5 3/8 twice. Okay, so I marked the 8 1/8 there, and then the 2 5 3/8. I'm just going to cut those. No. And there, and then these are going to cover the covers. So we just do glue on. So the covers are now on, front, back, and all the insides so far. The next thing I want to do before I decide what's going here, it's going to be dictated by the next thing I do. Now, I wanted to put some tuck spots on, not on everyone, but just on like this 1, 2, 3 and 4. That's the plan. But I wanted to do something a little bit more interesting. So I've had a trawl through sort of YouTube and that, and I've got 4 that I'm going to use. Now they're not they're not mine. I'm not laying claim to them. Oh, that's the other one. But there we go. They're the sort of things that you can find out there. So these are not my original ideas. This one I have actually used in the past. It's hard to see. There you go. I've used in the past actually to make a card, but it's going to make a really good like little tuck spot. So basically it has these 2 tuck spots here and another one. Well, this will open, but what I'm probably going to do is glue that so that well, I don't know, I'll probably glue along the bottom so at least it's at least another tuck spot there. I've done them out of paper because I just like to see how things are going to work before I actually do them. So now this one, and I can't remember the lady's name. I think her name's Terry, but I can't remember. I'll see if I can find the link. This one works, if I remember rightly. It sticks like this. So you've got a tuck spot in here. And then this bit will open. So you've got a little flap. Plus this is also, is that a tuck spot? Yes, that's a tuck spot and that flap opens. And then that opens. And then you've got another tuck spot here and another flap here. Okay, I will go through them all, how to make this. Is a really simple one. It's just literally a corner tuck spot. And then the last one has like literally lots of tuck spots. But again, I'll show you how to make these. So another good reason for doing these out of paper is that you can actually work out the size of the piece you need to start with before you cut into any of your papers. So before I decide which one's going to go where, I need to decide which of my additional papers I'm going to use to create the tuck spot. So I need to decide which one's going to look. That might look quite funky with that one. So I'm not necessarily going for looking all twee and pretty. Something different. Well, you know, I could just go for something that coordinates. Let's go. I'm just putting those in there just so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to come back to the red one in a minute. Where's the green one there? I think the green one will look quite cute on there. There isn't one for there, so I realised that. So that's going to go on there. So, I mean, this is the process I go through when I'm trying to work out what I'm putting where. I think that one for there, which means that's a bit too much on there. Or not? I'm going to go with that one. No, I'm going to go with that one. Right, so those, I've chosen the pieces. So now I need to decide which of the tuck spots is going well. So I might just go and do the simple one on there. So that will be that one. And then we'll do, just trying to work this with this one. We're not going to see all of, so I might go with that one for that because we're not going to see all of it, all of the color anyway. Gonna have to work out which side up to do that. We might do a bit of extra embellishing anyway. We'll do that one there and we'll do that one at the end of that. Okay, so those I've chosen what I'm going to do. So, like I said, because I've already done this out of plain paper, it gives me a good idea of the size I need to cut this to. So this is well, what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to cut these put that way. I'm going to cut all the bits of paper before I start doing any folding, and then I know where I'm at. So, like I said, I don't have specific measurements for this. I fiddled around just with a piece of copy of paper. There is a little tip I can give you in a minute once I've done all of this, but it's more it was literally more by eye than by anything else. So let's open this one out. And just pencil. I do apologise for the state of my trimmer. It is very, 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 very old. Okay. This is this one. Things mixed up. Let's put this over here. That's one there, one there. This one. See, I put some little annotations on these so I remember where things might be being stuck. You can see this one isn't particularly straight, but it will give me pretty much the dimensions. All these bits for cutting off because I'll I'm going to do all the obviously all the bits and pieces of all the other embellishments and keep them coordinated. This actually. Might seem like I'm being wasteful, cutting into multiple bits, pieces. But like I say, I've had these papers forever. Finally, going to start to use them, and all the bits that are not on that I'm cutting off will end up being used in boxes or in tags or on journal cards to go in this particular journal. Right, so I need my scoreboard. Okay, so with this one, it's in half. Now, I'm not necessarily going to use my scoreboard all the time, but this will give me a good idea as to where I need to score. And it's not all straightforward, but here, that on the side. So And it's my bone folder. Okay, so, and I might even once I've folded this, I might even trim off because I can see some white and it's going to annoy me. But for the moment, let's just go ahead. So I'm going to go down there. I'm going to fold it. And what I'm going to do is, because I think I'll use it that way, I will trim this off. In fact, I do it now. I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to trim that bit off so I can't see it. And then off, and then that will do. Oh, look, I trim that, maybe I might trim that bit as well. So as you see, I'm not worrying that these are exact, but yeah, there we go. Happy with that. So that's the first tuck spot, and I am just going to literally glue all of that together. I mean, there is a possibility to do it that way, and then I could get a tuck spot in here and a tuck spot in here. So we'll wait for a moment before I decide on that. So that's the first one. Really quite easy. It's just fold it in half and then down diagonally. And again, all you need to make sure is that because the height here is smaller than the height of your page. That's all I did, is I just sort of like, okay, and then also that when you fold it in half, I wanted it all to show here, so I just made sure that it did that. But like you could see, I chopped these with scissors while I was fiddling around, so it's just a case of playing. But that's all that one is. It's basically a rectangle in half, in and diagonal. So that's that one. Okay, so let's do this one next. Okay, I'll have to try and remember if I've got it in correctly. Yeah, okay, so the first thing with this is in half. And as you can see again, I don't necessarily need my but I'm just going to move it to the side of this one. Now, maybe once I've folded this, that I unfold it and reverse it, because I want this showing more than not. Okay, so as you see, that's where I started. I folded that in half. Okay, so then I need to fold this back over to here. Again, use your foam folder. This is quite nice weight paper. It's not flimsy, so it will hold. And then this goes back to here. That's good, that is showing stripes. Okay, so that's that one. And then if I open it out, then this one needs to come into the fold. And then back there. Now this one, obviously this is going to open it. I may in a minute put something extra on those, or I may leave them for journaling, but that's that one. Okay, so that's our second one. And then this one. So this one is, you fold it in half that way. And if, like me, you've got single-sided paper, you need to have it facing out, I think. This is where I'll be like, okay, now the next part is to fold it into thirds. Now, that's easier said than done when you've not measured it. So, kind of just, doesn't matter if it's not exact, you kind of can get it into thirds like that. Give yourself a little bit of a squeeze. No, that's not in enough. Yeah, there. There. So then I am going to just bring this in. If I can get these on a line, just to get a straight line down. Same here. Straight line down there. It's just going to help me with my folding. So I'm trying to remember how we do this now. Oh, no, the next thing we do is on these corners is we fold it in not quite to the score line, but I'll hold this up a bit closer to the camera in a sec. You can see where the score line is. Oh, sorry. And I've not quite folded it that far. You need to do that with all of the corners. Yes. And then the last one. Actually, so like this. There we go. So that then folds over like so. And then you want to bring that over and give that a good burnish with your tool. And then here. Okay, and the idea is now that one of those slots inside the other. Okay, now you've then got, look in here, multiple tuck spots. Now I apologize to the lady who's where I got this from, but I can't honestly remember. I will see if I'll have a look back through my search history, see if I can find it and tag it. But yeah, so that one is the third one, and then the last one. Oh, this last one. Okay, so with this one, you need to fold in half, open it out, fold in half again. So, and then what you need to do is cut in on one of these lines. Now you can do it, I think I might do it with a knife. You just literally cut from the center to the edge. Like so. Okay. Around that. So you now need to fold this corner down. Now, as long as you don't fold it all the way to there, it's not really a huge deal. But what I am going to try and do is get the top of the paper in line. And then I am going to try so that I can sort of eyeball the fact that this is going to be a straight line down and we don't get too much of a wonk. Okay, so that's there. Okay, so now we fold that over. Okay, I have to do that. Just bear with me, it takes me a little while to have it. Oh yes, there we go. We fold that up. Fold this one up. There we go. And we fold this back to the fold line. Like so. I'm about to sneeze, so I do apologise. Dear me. There we go. So that, and then that one folds around the back. Okay, so we've got a tuck spot here. Now, and a tuck spot here. And then it depends what you want to do, because this will open, because I've done these before, as this is like the card, and then you might want to put a tag and a gift card in. But what I might do on this one is glue along here and here, so I've got another tuck spot at the top. Okay, so these are my 4. So it is just a case of deciding how you want to stick it in. So what I am going to do, I am going to have this as another tuck spot. So the first thing I want to do, right, so this is with it being that way up. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this on that. Yes, oops, so I've already got it over me. So I'm just going to glue so that this one, so that sticks down there. And then but you won't catch things in there. Okay, so I've glued there and there. The next thing I'm going to do, which I should have done before, is I should have glued this one. So I'm just going to use the nozzle to push some glue in. I'll just get scrap paper. The glue's going to come out because I put quite a bit there. Okay, right. Okay, so I've glued. Is that all right? I've got that around the right way. Which way am I going? This way. Right, that's okay. So now let me just go through that again so that it makes sense. So I had it open like this. I've got this round the right way. There's my fold. Okay, so what I've done is I've put glue along here and here so that that sticks together. And I've also, is it there? I've also put some glue here so that those stick together. That's where I'm at. Okay, so now I want to put some glue along the bottom here. So that those stick together. I'm going to do a foam folder over all of this. Too much glue again. And then I'll have a tuck spot here, and I will have a tuck spot here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to glue this, all of this, and I'm going to stick it like so. So this still folds over, and once it's dry I can show you where the tuck spots are. Okay, right, So we'll leave that to dry, and then when it's dry, I can show you exactly what I mean with all the tuck spots. So we're going to go on to the one that's here, which we said was going to be this one, wasn't it? That's right. So this is another one, and I did annotate it when I did it myself, so I could see where I wanted to stick. Right, so this bit is going to fold out, which is fine, but I'm going to put glue here and here. Okay. So this still opens, but there's a tuck spot here. I'm not pulling it too hard at the moment because obviously I don't want to cause any great anything to move. And I'm doing the same here. So it's glue here, and stick down. Okay. Like so. So what I'm thinking is that I might get some of the red that we use there, and I might use a little bit on here. This one. So I am kind of at the moment I am just sort of winging it. This is not you know, I had a kind of an outline of a plan, but now I'm kind of just playing it by ear, which is how I prefer to do it. You know, it's always good to have a bit of a plan, but sometimes you think of, yeah, and I think that's going to go there. That one's nice. So I might leave that blank for now. So let's just cut that one instead on. Oh, sorry, thinking things falling down all over the place here. Oh, we're going to put this bit on here. Excuse me for sniffling here. I've got a little bit of an itchy nose. So this is going here, like so. So that will open there, and this will open. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the other one on here, and you'll notice that I always do this by eye. These kinds of things when I'm matting and layering, I just eyeball it. I've always done it that way. I've never really, when I'm doing just like matting and layering like this, I've never really measured it. Occasionally I do, but you know, 9 times out of 10 I will just do it like this. So that one's going to go there, like so. I'm just wondering if this one's going to be white, whether I might put a piece there. So we've got a little white area there, and it opens out, and that's the white area. I might have a little bit more of this, maybe, or even. Let's see if I can the stripy one. Smaller bit of stripy one somewhere. Probably. Can I find it? No. No. So we'll use this to cut a little piece for this. Like so. That's going to go there. You can see that I'm kind of using like sticking to just a certain group of patterns on one page. So this is now going to go here. So I'm going to, now it's up to you. You can do a glue like there. So you've got another tuck spot. But I actually feel on this one, I've already got 2 tuck spots that I probably don't need another one there. So I'm going to glue all of that down. I may regret it, but I'm going to glue all of that down like so. Now if you haven't seen how I made the actual base, then there is a video on my channel, so please do have a look at that. But you'll now kind of understand why we've got these little bits when we put it together. It just gives that space. It's not causing this to bow out, and there's plenty of space in. Now this one's now, I get a card. I've now got a tuck spot in here. Oh no, I forgot to leave that as a tuck spot, but never mind, I've got a tuck spot here. That's the one we're going to have to do. So word to the wise, I should have just, I thought that's what I did, but not to worry, I just should have just done it there. So I now only have my tuck spot here, but that's okay, I can live with that. I might do something, decorate something here. So yeah, never mind, it is what it is. But here I've got the tuck spot here, we've got the flap here, got this bit, we've got another tuck spot here and the flap on that one. Okay, so the one for here, if I remember rightly, is this one. Okay, so now what I am going to do is I am just going to put a little bit of glue in the base here just to keep this in. You could have it, I think the lady was saying you could have it so you can undo it, but I'm not that keen on that. I'd rather it was just there for the tuck spots. So I'm going to put a bit of glue, just literally I'm going to put a bit of glue down in there and squeeze that together so that stays stuck down at the bottom. And then I think I showed you this before, you get all of these tuck spots in here. There's 1 there, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 tuck spots in that as it is. So I'm going to then stick this all at the back of this down on there. I'm going to get one to push this down. Make sure I haven't got any other glues leaking out. Okay, that's that one. And so this is another one where I'm going to glue this flap down. Then I've got a tuck spot here, a tuck spot here. And what I am also then going to do is I'm going to glue along here and here, and then that gives me the tuck spot at the top. Okay, and then that's going to sit on here. So I'm pleased with those, apart from the little mistake I made with this one. But there you go. At least I did remember to leave that one there. So I've got a tuck spot in there for something to go in, which is fine. Now the last thing I want to do on this video is to decide what I'm putting on these pieces. So I think what I had thought originally, and I think I'm going to stick with it, is I'm going to match these to the tuck pocket. So the tuck spot, sorry. So this one is from this. So I'm going to cut 2 pieces out of this for there, 2 pieces out of this for there, and so on, and then I'm going to stick them in. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay. Right, I have everything now for the basis of my book. Sort of the basic kind of bits and pieces are in here, with some tuck spots, some flaps. So I'm going to leave it there for this particular video, and then in the next one I will show you some more of how I made the things for the inside.